When preparing for the Socratic seminar, there was one question that really caught my mind. Was Wes's success based off of luck or choice? I believe that's a combination of both. I believe that the family you're born into is completely based off of luck, and you have no control over that. But I believe you make choices throughout life that affect where you end up. And in this speech, I will show you how that has affected my life. When I got the assignment to interview one of my family members, I never got to hear my mom's point of view of my family, so I was really excited when I got a chance to talk with her. My mom was born in Minnesota with two younger brothers, but right before she was in kindergarten, her parents decided to move to River Falls, Wisconsin. From there, she attended River Falls School District up through high school. Now, the school my mom attended has affected me in different ways. For one, it's where she met my dad, and without them meeting, I wouldn't be here. Another is that River Falls offered her a good education and prepared her well for college so she could pursue the job she wanted. When my mom was growing up, her biggest role model was her dad, which is my grandpa. The reason for this is that he gave her the idea of what she wanted to do for a career. When she was 7, my grandpa decided to take her on a plane ride, and that's where she decided that she wanted to be a pilot. My mom, go into college, she'd worked for a bunch of different jobs around piloting. She worked for air crews and worked behind the desk at an airline. Eventually, my dad and her got married. She was a C-130 pilot for the National Guard, and I was born on May 3rd, 2001. But only a few months later, something big would happen to our nation that would impact me and her for a long time, and that was 9/11. After 9/11, she was deployed up to 5 times to Iraq and Afghanistan. This was very hard on me and my dad and my 2 brothers because we had to go through life without her and had to be without her for months at a time. And this was very difficult because my dad worked at a middle school in Ellsworth where he had to be there at 7 and we had to be at our school by 8. So the driving situation didn't work out very well. So we required the help of my grandparents a lot. And my mom being gone a lot was part of the reason that my grandparents and my dad are 2 of my biggest role models growing up. The reason my dad is one of my biggest role models is because I feel like he's one of those people that is himself genuinely, no matter what the situation is. And I might just be saying that because he's my dad, but I've seen him both at work and in school because he was my middle school principal. And so he, no matter what, would be the same way at work and at school, just always trying to be himself. And that's the type of person I want to be when I grow up. My grandparents were big role models to me because they gave me self-confidence in myself and always believed in me. Both my parents were a role model in my faith because they extinguished those traits as I was growing up, and they would always force us to go to church even when I didn't want to. But now that I look back on it, I'm glad that they did that. It gave me the morals and values I have today and have gotten me through my life so far. As I grew up, there were 2 big decisions I made in my life. One was when I joined band. I decided to play trumpet in 6th grade, and this wasn't a big deal at the time, but as I was growing up, I realized how big of an impact playing the trumpet and being around music has had on me. By the end of high school, most of my friends were in band with me, and some of the bonds you have with those people are just unbreakable. Also, when I joined marching band in my freshman year of high school, I went in very shy, but it gave me the chance to come out of my shell a little and gain confidence in myself. My second career choice was when I decided where I wanted to attend college. Thankfully, my parents were smart and saved their money enough so I had the opportunity to come to Bethel. And if they didn't do that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to come to Bethel. It's just like in the other Westmore, when Wes's mom tried really, really hard to get Wes into the academy so Wes could have a bit better life. That's what my parents did for me. Saved money so I could go to school, get educated, have a good job, and have a better life for myself. Growing up, I was very blessed. I got the opportunity to go to a good high school, but I feel like personally, I have a blind spot. My school wasn't very diverse, and so it's hard for me to understand how a lot of people in more diverse areas feel. So, how has luck and choice affected me? I was very lucky and blessed to be born into a good family where my parents loved me, but I still made choices in my life. I decided to believe what they taught me, and I also decided to work hard to get into school and in everything I do. But after finishing this assignment, I realized how much my parents love me, and I can't thank them enough. So that is